Hey, what's up, soldiers? My name is GregFPS, the Zombies Extraordinaire, and welcome to episode number 2 of Zombies in Real Life. Last week, I did real life transit and explained where transit actually takes place in real life. And you guys really did enjoy the video. If you missed it, it'll be linked down below and you guys can check that one out. But in this video, we're going to be talking about die rise and where die rise actually takes place in real life. Now, I had to do a ton of research. Historical accuracy is super important to me, so I had to find and look up a ton of different terms and terminology, as well as dates and where locations and things took place in order to find all the information I could. I also had to use a bunch of zombies timeline oriented stuff and dig into the zombie storyline, which I have a pretty good understanding of. I would say I'm about 95% on everything that takes place in the zombie storyline, but overall this video took so long to find all the information, so I really hope you guys do enjoy. I hope this helps you guys learn the real location of die rise, and trust me, like, this information is insane. So without further ado, guys, let's get right into the real life location of die rise. So first off, we're gonna take a look at die rise and its loading screen. Now on the loading screen, it says die rise, obviously, as well as the Great Leap Forward and Province 22. The first thing we're going to take a look at is the Great Leap Forward. So the definition for the Great Leap Forward: the Great Leap Forward of the People's Republic of China was an economic and social campaign by the Communist Party of China from 1958 to 1962. The campaign was led by Chairman Mao Zedong and aimed to rapidly transform the country from an agricultural economy into a socialist society through rapid industrialization. However, it is widely considered to have caused the Great Chinese Famine, which killed about 15 million Chinese people. So in layman's terms, China was trying to get rid of the farm industry that they had for exports and start industrializing it. They wanted to have different products that they could export from China and make money from. Things like this were textiles, and various different manufacturers were making things as well. So this might be in the power room of die rise why we have like sewing machines and textiles and all that sort of thing. That might be why die rise is like that, and it's in a few different rooms around die rise. Now we're going to take a look at Province 22. Now, Province 22 is Jilin, which is a province in the northeast of China. It is just above Korea. In World War II, part of China was annexed by Japan and turned into Manchuria. When we get to talking about Manchuria, this is where stuff starts to get insane. So I know this seems completely out of the blue, but we're actually going to talk about Takeo. Now, Takeo, we know, is a captain of the Imperial Army, and we learn this from the Horizon Track trailer right here.
Looks like it's gonna be another suicide mission for all of us. Nikolai, Richtofen, Takeo, and me, Tank Dempsey.
If we take a look at the field letter from Takeo before the release of Origins, it says that he took part in the Battle of Moken. The Battle of Moken was a battle between the Japanese and Russians in 1905. The Japanese won, and this is where the Emperor noticed Takeo, and then, as we know, he was sent to Origins after. The craziest thing about this, though, is that the Battle of Moken took place in Moken, which happens to be the capital of Manchuria back then, which means Takeo was in Manchuria. Another thing worth mentioning is that Takeo was the captain of the Imperial Army's 9th Division. Does Division 9 ring any bells? The Division 9 fought in the Battle of Moken in 1905, which I already mentioned, but Division 9 was permanently relocated to Manchuria in 1940. Now, as I already mentioned, Takeo was the captain of the Imperial Army's 9th Division, but also within his battalion was a unit called Unit 100, which was a group of Japanese scientists that were conducting research for biological weapons for the Imperial Army. They conducted tests on human test subjects, and their base was located in Changchun, which now is the capital of Jilin. As mentioned before, Jilin is Province 22. In each knocked through buried map, every map takes place near where experiments with element 115 took place. It would make sense for Dairise to be located in the capital of Jilin, considering big cities have skyscrapers, which would make sense why there are big skyscrapers all and around Dairise. So I have a little theory about jumping jacks that I want to talk about really quick. Now, when jumping jacks spawn in, we hear Richtofen say, "Fetch me their souls." Now, we hear the exact same thing when dogs spawn in, for example, on Darice. Now, we know that on Darice, Fluffy and her puppies turned into hellhounds when teleported. So it is possible that possibly Unit 100 was doing testing and did teleportation testing on Nova 6 crawlers, thus causing them to be changed into jumping jacks. Now, if you look at them, they look really similar. So this is just my theory that I have. This might be why there are so many cages located around Dairise as well. So I know that this kind of just threw in Takeo, but at the same time, I wanted to kind of make you guys understand what was going on in Manchuria, and also understand the relationship between like Division 9 and the Japanese with Unit 100, and also them being in the same location as where Dairise actually takes place, and what causes the zombie outbreak with element 115. Now I have one last bit of information that is going to do with Stuhlinger and the Flesh. Now, if you don't know what the Flesh is, basically it was a group of survivors that ate zombie flesh. Now, Stuhlinger was one of these people, and as we know, zombies are contaminated with element 115, which is obvious because we hear Richtofen talking to Stuhlinger through this because he ate zombie flesh. Now, you can also hear the moaning of zombies when you play on Dairise as Stuhlinger. You can literally hear zombies moaning. Now, this might have to do with the 15 million people that died during the Great Leap Forward, and this is all the backstory I could find based on Dairise. Now, you also hear the moaning when you go down on Dairise and you're playing as the other characters. One last thing I want to talk about really quick is the connection between the KT4 and the Masamune along with the Sliquifier. Now, considering Division 9 was the ones on Zetsuba no Shima that created the KT4 as well as the Masamune, these weapons are very similar to the Sliquifier, which is used on Dairise. So it would make perfect sense for them to have those parts lying around the different area and be connected to each other, because the weapons are so similar. The only difference is the color. We have purple with the Sliquifier, we have green with the KT4, and then blue with the Masamune. So this actually makes perfect sense why the weapons are so similar, which I never really thought of, but I just made this connection after going through the script that I read. So really cool stuff, guys. I just wanted to throw that in as well really quick before we get to the end of the video. But I thought this was overall super interesting. Now, I understand that you guys may find this like having no relationship, and it's really hard to understand, and I wish I could explain it better, but this is literally the best way I could explain it. I had literally had to make this a script and read it because I was just compiling information for like 3 to 4 hours on this stuff. Now, I want to conclude this video by talking about where Dairise takes place in the zombies timeline. It doesn't actually give us any more information, but on October 22nd, 2035 is when Dairise takes place. Still hoping to regain control, Richtofen teleports Victus to Province 22, where he demands that Stuhlinger activate the second polarization device. Once again, the crew sides with Maxis. The voices cease for some time, leaving Victus to wander the earth. So overall, guys, that is all the information that I could find with Dairise. Now, I hope that you guys learned a little bit of something, but seriously, this was extremely hard to find information for, and I want to do this for every single zombies map. So I can completely understand if you guys are having trouble with this and understanding it, but I just thought this was really cool. Like, I just dived into the history of the area of Manchuria and also the battles going on, and I tried tying Takeo in with Dairise and Division 9, and Unit 100 and all that stuff. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please drop a like. Let me know if you guys enjoyed, and if you have any maps that you would like me to do next, you can comment those down below. Chances are I'm probably going to do Mob of the Dead next, and I'm kind of just going to go through all the Black Ops 2 maps, then maybe the Black Ops 3 maps, and then the Black Ops 1 maps. Now this is a series I want to continue all the way up to the release of the next Treyarch game, and then continue it with those different maps. So anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.